Hi guys and welcome to this video. Kleena here, and today I'm going to take you through the solution to question 7 from this Junior Cert Ordinary Level paper, and this question is based on trigonometry. So let's get started. So we're given a triangle and we're told that it has two angles of size 70 degrees, okay, and we're given a diagram. Question A part 1 asks us what type of triangle it is, and we're given 3 boxes. So is it right angled, is it isosceles, or is it equilateral? So I can see here that we're given two angles and they are of the same measure, okay? So that also means that these two lengths, okay, that are going down to the angles must also be of the same measure. So now we can see that we have two sides that are of equal measure and two angles at the base of these two sides, okay, are the same. So it must be an isosceles triangle. Now you could also do this by a process of elimination. We can see that it's not right angled because if it was right angled, it would need an angle of degree 90 degrees, okay? So we can see that the two angles we're given, they're not 90 degrees. And even if you look at A, you can see that it's not 90 degrees, and you can work out the size of A and you can see that it's not 90 degrees, so then it can't be right angled. You can also do the same for equilateral, okay? So we can see that we have two angles that are of the same measure, but if it was equilateral, we need all three of them to be of equal measure. So they'd all have to be 60 degrees. So now let's move on to A part 2. So A part 2 asks us to work out the size of angle A, the third triangle in the triangle. So to do this, what you need to remember is that there's 180 degrees in every triangle. So there's 180 degrees in this triangle, and it must be spread out between the three angles. So I'm going to take away what we already have. So take away 70. And then I'm going to take away another 70 because we have two angles of degree 70. And let's see what we're left with, because that's going to be A. So it's going to be 180 minus 70 minus 70. So A is going to be 40 degrees. Okay, and that's our answer for question A part 2. Now let's move on to the third part of question A. So we're told that this triangle is joined to a parallelogram, as shown below. The angle B in the parallelogram is marked, and we're asked to work out the size of angle B. So, an important rule to remember here is that opposite angles in a parallelogram are equal in measure. So with this rule in mind, instead of finding B straight away, why don't we find the angle opposite B, and then we're going to know that they have to be of the same measure. So how will we find the angle opposite B? Here you can see we have a straight angle. There must be 180 degrees in a straight angle. So there must be 180 degrees here. Okay, so if that's 70 degrees, what's on the other side? Let's go 180 degrees minus 70, and we're going to be left with 110 degrees. So this here is going to be 110 degrees. So that means that B is also equal to 110 degrees. You can write a little note if you want. Opposite angles in a parallelogram. So 110 degrees is your answer for A part 3. Now let's move on to question B. So in question B, we're told that the diagram below shows the triangle T. The lengths of two sides and the size of one angle are shown, okay? So you can see that the triangle is called T, and you have this length 3, this length 4, and between the length 3 and the length 4, an angle of 80 degrees. So we're told that 4 more triangles are shown below, and for each triangle, tick the box to show that it is definitely congruent to T or not. Now, congruent in maths means the exact same, okay? So they're identical. So let's have a look at the first one. So we can see it has length 3, it has length 4, and it has an angle of 80 degrees in between it, okay? Now it's flipped the other way, but because it has an angle of 80 degrees between length 3 and length 4, it is definitely congruent to T. So yes. Now let's move on to the next one. So here we still have length 3 and we have length 4, okay? But we don't have an 80 degree angle in between them, so it's not definitely congruent to T. Again, here we have length 3 and length 4, but the angle of 80 degrees isn't between length 3 and length 4. If this was length 4 here, it would be congruent because then it's between them. But because it's not this angle here, it's not definitely congruent to triangle T. And now for the final one, we have length 3 and we have length 4. We have 80 degrees between them. So yes, it's congruent to triangle T. Okay guys, so that's all for this question. I hope this video helped and it might have cleared up any issues that you had when going through it yourself. Thank you all very much for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.